Oh god, they put something in Morse. All right, looking at the roster here, Vagrant's going to be commanding again. Nice, but let's go ahead, hit all of our commands here, and go ahead and look at the mission info. Very small, brief mission made by Mountain. Ugh. Excuse me. Mountain is not going to give you a backstory. You have to come here to kill, and kill you shall. Blood for the Blood God. 40k references. Nice. Area of operations. Cold War Germans versus Russians. Note, death is a preferable option to communists. I wish I was a fish. Okay. Okay. So, game mode is ad sector. It's not sequential, otherwise it would be called a rush ad sector. Mission will go into overtime if there's only one active sector remaining and the attackers stay inside. So, potential for an overtime play here. Defender points, 5 points below the 125 because 125 is standard. It doesn't state yes or no for the magnified optics, so I'll look and see if there are magnified optics on the field. No night vision equipment. Render range is 750 meters. And it looks like defenders only get 2 AT rounds per, but the op4 players get 3 AT rounds per and an HE round. So a little bit of AT favoritism going on to op4 there. Otherwise, looking at blue 4, again, a breakdown. We got platoon lead, the platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, assault rifleman, or auto rifleman. I keep saying assault. Gosh darn it. Auto rifleman assistant, grenadier IR, which are basically the same, except this guy has a hunt IR system, which for Cold War, that's kind of weird. It's iron sights. Thank you, Nem. Machine gunner assistant. Yeah, they have iron sights only, Nem, but they have IR cameras. They have hunt IR rounds. Interesting. Combat engineer, light anti-tank, Mat Gunner 1, Mat Gunner 2, recon sniper. No, excuse me, recon soldier, so the suppressed shooter guys, recon infantry for the squad leader, and the additional infantry in there. Designated marksman looks like it's going to be, I think that's a Mark 14 with a bipod in the black camo. Sniper is going to get either an M24 or an M2010, we'll see. I'm probably wrong on that, though. Crew lead, crewmen, pilot, medics with the medical helmet, and then the base kit. Loadout is going to be HKG3s. Yeah, I was right. So the recon guy is going to get an M24. So G3s and Colt carbines. Hopefully the Colt carbines have ammo, because I was told that some of the kits that have Colt carbines don't actually have ammo. That was an issue for round 2 in EU. But otherwise, an MG42 and an MG3. Oh my god, the fire rate of the MG is atrocious. But that's an interesting thing to see. It's just an older version of the same machine gun being used. So a lot of DACA there to build on the 40k references stated in brief. M72 law for the light anti-tank, M24 as already said for the sniper, and then a choice between an MP5 suppressed or a Mark 14 with a suppressor, and then crewmen get the MP5 or a Colt carbine. Crew serve weapons, nothing on blue 4. They get 2 AAVPs. They took out the GMG and instead replaced it with a a 7.62 by 51 millimeter. So 10 rounds of 100 round magazines for the 12.7, and then 8 magazines of 200 rounds for the 7.62, and then smoke screen stuff for the commander to fire if he feels he's in danger. We got 9 motorbikes, awesome, and then 6 transport Humvees, and then 2 Humvee HMGs with no up armored cover for the gunner. 8 boxes of 100 rounds there. Looking at Op4 here, their uniform. It's going to be the older Russian style stuff. I'm going to scroll down. I love how the cutoff, for a split second, I thought those were thermobaric tandem rockets, and I was going to laugh my ass off, because not only would that be out of place, but thermobaric rounds absolutely slaughter infantry. DMR looks like that is an SVD without a scope. Loadouts, we're going to see AK-74s in play, RPK-74, PKM, RPG-26 for the light anti-tank. We've got Mosin Nagant for the sniper, which is funny because they give SVDs to the marksman, so it's like the sniper is a bit of a downgrade. But otherwise, AKS with 45 round magazines or an AS Val. This terrain, I'd probably go with the AKS. And then the crewmen get a choice of an AKS or an AKS. Really tough decision there for the crewmen and aviation slots. Personally, I'd go with the AKS myself, but the AKS is also really tempting. I mean, just looking at the terrain, real quick. Looking at the map here, the objectives themselves, the 2 sectors, we got one with a custom base right here, which would really favor an AKS for this build. I mean, because of these wide open areas, but the CQC style of the base itself really screaming AKS for me. However, looking at the other sector here at Sector 1, this is more like suburban, meant to be a little more on the urban side, but suburban, a lot of buildings blown out, offering a lot of areas of, cover and some safe positions to fire from, potentially to catch people out in the open. Really, that terrain, depending on what Op4 chooses, would favor an AKS. So it's going to be really difficult for the aviation and crew guys if they're planning on, getting knocked out of their vehicle. It's going to be a difficult choice. We'll look at their vehicle choice in a second, don't get me wrong, but I think it's really going to depend on what Op4 Command, which I believe was Vagrant, wants to do with his forces to decide which AO he's going to depend, and that information will really help show or help to give Op4 crew and aviation players the choice of whether or not they want the AKS or the AKS. All right, it's difficult. We'll probably get back to that later, but there's a few other things we got to look at here. So crew serve weapons, nothing for Op4 specifically, but 2 BTR 70s, and then you got to remember it's got 14.5 millimeter, only 50 rounds, but that's basically armor piercing. No, what's the term I'm looking for? Anti-material ammunition, so it can penetrate into vehicles, kill crewmen, crewmen, that sort of thing. And then 250 rounds, 7.62 by 54 boxes for that PKT, and then 4 cords, which 50 cal turrets, 5 mags each, only 250 rounds. So there's a lot to go with. Now looking at the roster here, we're gonna go ahead and look at Blue 4 first because I want to get back to Op 4. But look at this AO. It's taking majority of the map as well. Both sectors are close to each other. I'd imagine Blue 4 is just going to come down the MSR and then deploy and, just sweep and take that objective. So, Blue 4, meanwhile, you've got Tenderbaner leading. I've never seen him command before, so this is a wild card. No idea what he's going to do. Banks as his 2IC, Mountain as the medic. He did make the map as well. Might give advice to Tenderbanks to take this. Otherwise, Shade being the X-Ray team lead, Coop being the medic, Sideways taking the M24, Coda taking the... Interesting. So there's only one suppressed shooter, and that's going to be Mags with a suppressed Mark 14 battle rifle. Lurch being the squad leader for Alpha HQ. Looks like they merged the teams and the command element for Alpha HQ. So G-Legs going to be the driver for the AAVP. And they've got Lennox, Tiger, Revanche, Spiky RP, Katarino, Dogbert Jr., Elm Tree, Tilster, Olaf, Kevin, Bad Reki, and Mr. Rogers together, all under Alpha HQ. Bravo HQ has Katasugi, with Bravo 1 being led by Steve, with Ace, Rat, Saddam, Gopher, Clods, and Khan. Bravo 2 being led by Ravemaster with Sharp, N1, Boogashuga, Tanners, and Shrek. And you can also see they're filling into the other AAVP. Charlie has Blam leading the team with Despo, Timek, Chaos, and Arcane. Waldo leading Delta HQ with Grav, Bant, and Chow. Excuse me. And Flux, Michael, Kane, and Guy Fieri funneling in under Delta 2. Some pretty noteworthy names there. We got Bay. We've got some Papega Pirates members. Chow's playing with Bay here. I don't see Dooley. I haven't seen Dooley team up with Bay at all tonight. Hope they're okay. Usually they're inseparable in operations, but interesting to see that play out. But pretty good roster overall. Again, I think just driving down the MSR and going for it would be their best bet. Op4 doesn't really have any counterattack capability. They could try the BTRs, but those are really slow. But we could see one just go up the MSR, set up an ambush on this bend, for example, and then try to take out what they can, hiding stuff in the roaming hills. That could be their best bet, in all honesty. But otherwise, looking at Op4's roster, we got, again, Vagrant commanding, veteran commander. I would say he is, the best commander here. And he did win the last round as Op4 command. So we'll see if he can go 2 for 2 tonight. We have X-Ray. I don't know if Falcon's leading it. No, he's the sniper, so they don't have a team lead. But we got Loki as one of the regular riflemen, so I'd assume he's in command of it because Falcon's sniping. And then Rust and Dooley both taking the suppressed shooters. Dooley taking the AS-Val, Rust taking the AKS with the 45-round magazines. Interesting. Dreek leading Alpha HQ with Anderson, Maz, Poe, Martin, Purton, Miller, and Iander there. Alpha 2 has Bridges leading Wiki and Green Shade. Charlie HQ, looks like there's no Bravo, is going to be led by Nielsen with the teams intact, with Sablon leading Charlie 1 with Garcia, Pinto, and Norris, who's going to be an explosive specialist. Interesting. We got Corporal Montgomery with Drake, Herb, Eagle, and Sholand for Charlie 2. Delta has folded into one fire team. It's going to be Korvac, Artisan, Zoni, Absorbed, Space Cowboy Carl, and Shrimp. And then Cosmonaut and Cool Breeze under an Alpha 1-3-3 team, which I think is meant to be a Gamma team. Interesting choices here. They went with the AKSs. Well, hold up. Cool Breeze went with the AKS, though. So that's interesting that Cosmonaut went with the AKS, but Cool Breeze went for the AKS there. And then G1 is going to be that other BTR crew. Twins, interestingly enough, is going with the AKS. And then Malrun going for the AKS, but he folded the buttstock off, creating a third choice. Wow, that's interesting. And then Schult, wow, he went for the AKS too. I mean, you got to remember, it's a really tough AO, all right? There's so many different ways this can go, but I'm seeing it split pretty down the middle between the AKS and the AKS. I mean, I kind of get why. As I was talking about earlier, you know, one AO seems to really favor the AKS, but the other AO seems a bit better for the AKS. So I think they're just splitting down the line just to make sure all bases are covered. But at the end of the day, because they are the BTR crews, it's going to be tough to see if they're even in a position to use the AKS properly, because they might go out here instead and find that maybe the AKS they chose isn't the right AKS to use. All right. So, or not the right weapon to choose. You know what I mean? So it's a tough call. I think if they're going to be offensive, like what this BTR 80 is suggesting, I think the AKS, that's Shrimp. He doesn't have an AKS. These guys don't have AKSs. I'm trying to figure out. Okay. So they're in the vehicle here. So, I mean, you got Cool Breeze with the AKS, but Cosmonaut has the AKS. So, again, splitting down the line in case the vehicle gets destroyed. I guess for counterattacking or attacking in an ambush fashion, it's a tough call. I think I'd go with the AKS in that situation, but if they're going to be more defensive, which is what I think the other BTR is going to be utilized for, base defense, I think at that point, I think I'd rather have an AKS. You know what I mean? It's tough to play that out. So I appreciate the force split, but it's debatable either way where this is going to go. We'll have to keep an eye on the crewmen if they dismount and see where they go. They might not even be able to use the AKS or the AKS, whatever their choice was, because they might just stay in the vehicles the entire time. Now, I doubt it. BTRs are usually underutilized within Friday Night Fights, but usually you'll see an infantry dismount or two. But we'll just see, because sometimes the AT will just kill everyone in the Vic itself. So, I don't know. Yanni saying I've lost the screws in my head. Look, I'm just saying, I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but I just can't decide which one would be better in the situation here, okay? I know. Normally, like, if this was like this decision, usually I'm always for the AKS instead of the AS Val, but this one, I mean, the AKS, it's a great choice, but only niche in certain scenarios, and it's the crewmen, so you don't know where those crewmen are going to be because they're mainly playing in a vehicle. So I don't know if the AKS is a good choice or the AKS. It's tough, okay? It's really tough. All right, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for over a year. I want to say a year and a half by now. I've been, playing Arma since 2016. I've played with RHS weapons, I think, for almost all of that time. And even I would have difficulty with that decision because it's going to depend on where you're ordered to. But again, it's such a tough call. And with the last round of the night, everyone's tired. People are going to be prone to making mistakes, but you still want to try to maximize your kit to the best of your ability. So it's really, really tough. To the past asking, what was the weapon you think they should use again? We're going to be on this for all. We got 1 minute remaining until the round ends. Look, again, just to break it down, all right? If they're going to be defending this AO as the crew because of this big open area around it, I would, honest to God, 100% go for the AKS, all right? I think it's the best choice here to really maximize these open areas to lock them down. You got these tank traps over here that they're going to have to literally climb over with enhanced movement or whatever, and that's where you could really spray people down with that choice. But if they're being assigned to defend the other AO, which is more suburban, more buildings to go for. Yes, there's open areas around it, but with the numbers, you're going to see more like infighting between buildings and whatnot. Then, in my opinion, only then would you go for the AKS, all right? But again, these are crew or aviation guys, specifically crew because there's no aviation, so they might not even be in these positions. They might just be out in the open, covering open areas with those BTRs, in which case, honest to God, I would go for the AKS. All right? That's just me. That's just me. All right? But everyone has their own strategies when they play PvP, so you never know where you might end up on, and that's just, you know, the factor of PvP itself. So, I don't know. If I had a dead horse to beat, I'm going to be honest, Arch, 100% AKS, all right? Every time it would be the damn AKS. Every freaking time. All right, Blue 4 going down 2 MSRs. They're sending X-Ray down the route, which I decided Mountain going off the road and trying not to kill himself here. And then he goes off the road again. And now he's going the wrong way. Mountain, you're that way. That way. I think you just realized with that vehicle going there, he might be a little lost. But yeah, no, they're just... I don't know if they're having trouble. I mean, that they knocked a tree down over here. The road. You know, I haven't seen this much difficulty in FNF since a decision to pick either the AKS or the AKS. I mean, there's just so many different difficult decisions here. You gotta wonder with everything going here. Otherwise, Op4, they've deployed forces up to this hill. It's got a slight little fortification on it. You can see with this little line, which just I think is supposed to indicate the deflay, but I think this line also comes from this little wood piece right here, just to kind of show it on the map. So they're going to use that to overwatch the road. But it looks like Blue 4 is instead going to focus on coming around from the south. Yeah, I know. Falcon says, visible panic when you try to see if a plan works, and Arma says, you're effing doing it. Took off my bright, bad word, yellow for white undersuit, and my uni deleted itself, Lamau. He was X-Ray, right? Ah. So he's Nakey now. I'm going to be honest, though, the white camo's well with the snow. I mean, his skin color doesn't, but he's camouflaged now. See, I'm trying to see what he specifically meant by the undershirt. So, I don't know. He was the sniper, though. So, actually, we can go under Op4. We can look at uniform. We can scroll all the way down. Yeah, so I think he was talking about the little top of that. So, he was trying to take that off, and it deleted his uniform, too. That's funny. That camo would go great with an AKS. Mal, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even think about that. If we had the time, if we had more time in Safe Start, I would love to go over camo patterns, matching them with, you know, the choice of AKS, but I don't think we have the time at this point. And the horse is starting to smell. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to make that into a highlight just to troll people. But which AK? The AKS killer. That's what we've been trying to establish. Ah, man. So Blue 4 has stalled, which to me indicates they're waiting for either this force to come up or for another force to get into position to the north. And we still have these two guys all the way back here. For what reason, I have no idea. Not enough AKs. You never know. Suffice to say, if you're new, once in a while I meme a little bit. It's just to have fun. I'm sorry if you get tired of it, though. It's 10:30 at night. Usually by now I've covered 5 or 6 rounds. In this case, it being 5. Because usually I don't cover round 3 NA. Usually I go to bed. Something just exploded and it caused my night vision to go off. Where was the boom boom? I don't see anything over there. I don't see the BTRs exploding. Sounded like it was over here. You know, there's only one gun I know of that can cause a vehicle to explode like that. Or that certain type of explosion. Guys, I think you know which gun I'm about to bring up. I'm trying to see where the explosion was, though. I think it was a satchel going off, maybe to take out a building. But, yeah, Spartan, you're absolutely right. It's the AKS. I enter panic firing here with a regular AK. See, that's the issue. The regular AK sight, you know, you're going to start seeing things. Would have been better if you took AKS. I can't. This is just going to be the AKS round, isn't it? What if we had the BTR just marauding up here? Out for a stroll. You know what I'd love, though? Is Falcon took his uniform off and he now looks more camoed into the ground. I want him to get like, 7 or 8 kills and now get in trouble because he took his uniform off and it gave him better camo. All because he tried to remove his hat wear and it took off his entire uniform. You know, they could have blown this up, actually. Because I don't see a shadow indicating... Well, actually, I don't even see a vehicle placement there either. So that might not have... that might have just been that way. So I have no idea what they blew up. I'm assuming it was a building somewhere, but I can't tell. In all honesty. So now we just got to wait for these forces to fold in here. So how's everyone's night? Again, after this round, I am going to just work on editing, trying to finish up MCO documentation as well, but we'll see how things go. Alright. So I don't know why these two hunt in the back for X-ray. It looks like that was actually platoon elements staying back here. But them being on a completely opposite angle to their main attack, I think is a little worrisome. Now we got some forces pushing up via vehicle and the rest going in via infantry. That's a bit of a weird display as well, but we'll make it work. Yeah, more like morning for the EU at this point, right? It is getting to that time. BTR could come up behind these guys and take them out, but it's going to be a little off the road, so that's going to be a tough call. I think we're just going to see Blue 4 get right on top of the sectors, catch a lot of units out in the open. This group's going to get pinned there because this is all open terrain over here. Interesting choice, but I don't think Blue 4 in their right mind would attack from this angle because that's way too much open ground for them to go in through. It's easier just to attack from either the south through this area, the west through, the east through this area, or the north through that area. So anything over here, I think, is just a dumb call to put forces on. No offense to Vagrant. I know he always thinks about, people making crazy plays like that, but I think it would have just been better to hold those 3 obvious areas than having a security element at the edge of Sector 2 to watch, because having all those forces out there might actually weaken Op 4 enough for this unified pincer movement to come in from the south. So there's going to be a lot of dedication to movement at this point. I do like that they do have their cords out here, though, but again, I think they're just going to be completely out of position. BTR is out here in the open, sticking out like a sore thumb. And they're looking the opposite. You know, I can explain why they're doing this. Look at his weapon choice, all right? He picked the AKS. Again, not the best choice for these open areas. Now, if he was more over here, I think he would have actually gone for the AKS, which is a much better choice for these open areas. But he clearly went for the AKS that, you know, belongs in the suburban areas. That might be a little tough, but we'll have to see how they go. But I do like that he's trying to scout out for this vehicle. We'll actually take a look at his first person. He is looking around. He might be able to guide the BTR into firing here. I don't know. I don't think an AKS could defeat a javelin round. I mean, you have the javelin cages, right? Those have been working out, right? No. Oh. This ain't good. Shrimp just disconnected. So this is a single man driving out on his own, I guess to be bait? Making Op4 think that they're coming from this direction. I mean, that's not a bad call, having a feint like that. He's made everyone get on their statics. Tanner's, I mean, now they know there was only one guy in there that dismounted. But yeah, he's going to pull attention over here, and that might allow Blue 4 to walk right on top of Sector 1. Ooh, look at that. So Maz rounds coming in. They're going to try to take out the tower. With, I think, 2 or 3 rounds, they will be able to destroy the tower. But that's only if they also use the HE round itself, because that does more damage to the buildings. Then again, this tower is a little finicky with its physics. But yeah, 3 or 4 rounds should actually do it. Actually, no, it's, let me look at the mat settings again. Yeah, so it's only Op4 that have the HE round, so Blue 4 at the Maz, they would need to have a squad basically use all of its rounds to kill the tower. For the squad, so both the gunner and the assistant for 4 rounds total between 2 rounds per player. What is Tanner's here? He's just a regular rifleman from the looks of things. No, he's someone's assistant because he has the Alice pack. Thought I saw GL rounds coming in here. I'm not seeing any ordnance being delivered, though. No flares or smoke. Another Maz round going in. I don't see a texture change, though. Interesting. Now you're hearing that 50 cal firing in. The question, though, is were these 2 pincers supposed to attack at once? Because this southern pincer is still a little delayed with the AAVPs. So that's only making Op4 fold their forces down, but also allowing for the northern X-ray group to come around as well. You got Mountain going on his own as the medic, platoon medic specifically. These guys are all in the open. They've lost a guy. M2's doing its best. It's caught and actually eliminated someone with a spotting scope out in the open who was looking the wrong direction. Now you got Falcon naked here. It was Dooley on the spotting scope. Interesting. Falcon's also gotten a kill. Wow. So I think he actually is the one that shot that one dude right there. So these guys are now hiding in the cover here. Now, all right, is that blue on blue? No, there's a hill in the way. Weird. So interesting choice of assault for Blue 4. Not what I would have expected. So they're now pulling back, realizing that they're just in a massive kill zone. They could load up in that Humvee and then charge through this knocked over stuff here and get right behind that hill for defilade cover, but instead this is just going to draw out the fight and probably force Op4 to pull their forces in and then make it even harder for Blue 4 to push. So I think we're going to see a pretty long round 3 in my opinion, based off of where the units have dismounted, where they're trying to assault from. It's just going to be a long fight. Flux getting knocked out early, though. That's unfortunate happenstance. He's one of the better players from Papega. Michael also taken out. Steve was sniped. And Op4 haven't lost a single guy yet. No, they lost Dooley, but Dooley disconnected. Okay. Now, I really wonder what Mountain's going to do with all these guys and their backs to him. He's got that bright medical helmet, though, so he's not really going to be able to hide his way through that. But X-Ray coming along this other side, they could sneak in and do some pretty significant damage. They don't have any AT, though. Now, you hear that M2 firing up at this position. That's causing them to keep their heads down. But I think Mountain could systematically engage and eliminate those guys. So AAVP has pushed up in the open here. It's doing its best to fire at everything. But yeah, no, Blue 4 just needs to get forces right up here along the forest, suppress that tower with its vehicles, take it out with its AT, and then follow through, coming around in the low ground, and then assaulting from right here. That would be their best bet. M2 just took Artisan out. BTR, though, has lined up, and it's firing. I believe at infantry over here, but it's firing high. Where did Mountain just go? Oh, he's folded all the way to the left. So he's not going to try to eliminate that group on his own. He's just going to try to sneak into the AO. Yeah. All right. But yeah, the southern part of this attack still being slow to get in. They could also get up on this route and then come in on the right. I don't know. It's just the force also feels really scattered right now. You got a few guys up in front. Caden, one of the best players in my opinion, who really does like to go off and solo. He got hit a few times. What's Mountain gonna... Is he gonna like morphine bomb the crew? Or does he have an explosive to actually do something against that BTR? They're doing their best to fire at that vehicle that's moving quickly right there. Yeah, so he's taking stamina breaks and he's just sprinting up. Artisan woke back up, but someone else got taken out. That was his assistant because he has the RPG backpack. King is going for a solo play. Yeah, grenades being thrown in here. He's breaching. Vagrant making use of these windows. You still got that BTR firing from range. They're trying to snipe the Humvee. And Mountain's going to move on. What is up with the solo plays here tonight? Blue 4 starting to push their forces in. They're not going to go for Sector 1. They're going to go straight for Sector 2. 2 people remaining in this sector. Vagrant and Loki are here. If Kane has any explosives, he could take that out. Guy Fieri also getting taken out here. So it was a team of Pepega coming in, and most were taken out. Booga being fired at, but he rolls into the hill behind Defilade. Moz round came in and took out the BTR. Cool Breeze surviving, but he is on fire. He needs to roll around the snow. And it looks like the fire ran out. Falcon has gotten a second kill. Still trying to pick off who he can. The other BTR-80 has moved. And they have the guy sitting on the side being the spotter there for the turret. That's interesting. Booga Sugar suppressing up here with that MG. Causing these guys to fold back in the cover. I think he was firing at Zoni, who pulled back and is currently medicing. But Mountain now folding in. He might spot Dreek right there and take him out. Ooh, but that's the AVP. It pushed in, and the 14.5 millimeter penetrated in. Quite a few people knocked out in here. Ouch. So that vehicle's probably toast. Looks like Loki was taken out. No, Vagrant was taken out. I can't tell what got him. Looks like, I think King might have come up and breached, because that's the only reason there would be shots up right here. So it looks like they had an exchange, and then Vagrant tried to push him, but Keen won the fight, and I think Keen then pulled back and is currently doing medical back here. But I don't see a blood trail, and I don't see bandages, but I do see the blood right there, so... Maybe he got shot through the ladder as well. He got a GL round going over pretty far. Don't know what the point of that was. BTR has been repaired, back in working order. Cool Breeze leaving Cosmonaut to bleed. Another Moz round coming in. You know, I think this is set to Invincible, because by now that should be showing a damage texture with how many Moz rounds that have come in on it. You got Platoon HQ, I think getting... No. One of the northern groups, the AAVP came all the way around here, and they got a small infantry detachment, and they're now keeping that force pinned. But now you got Mountain in the zone. But there's 4 people in it, a 5th right outside. And now King's gonna go for the breach. There it is. So King got crippled in that fight, but basically either he quickly tapped that G3 or said it's a full auto. And he was able to get that sector. Mountain running around, not catching Twins. Twins not catching Mountain. Op4 folding in forces. We got this infantry squad that can come in, though. We need to see Mountain make a play at this point. Let's go check on our friend Falcon. Still on 2 kills. Trying to see if he can pick off anyone else, but Blue 4, I mean, their movement has been really, really slow. You got the HMG Humvee trying to fire. I'm not sure if they're trying to hit this, or if there's an Op4 guy in there they were trying to take out. The gunner for that Humvee's gotten a kill. Gunner for this Humvee has gotten nothing. But yeah, Booger, he's basically checking on friendlies right now. He's trying to medic them, but they are indeed dead. Yeah, another BTR hunting. RPG landing super close, though. I think that was Artisan over here. But yeah, just Op4 has a lot of forces out of position here. Platoon HQ Tenderbaner. Why does Herb have an RPG-26 out? What? Oh, God, and he pulled out the AKS. This is what I was talking about. So he won that fight. He killed Tender, but then he got killed by a 50 cal. But that right there, that is what I've been trying to point out all evening. That's the power of the AKS. We still have Banks back here, though. He might find Sholin bandaging. But I'm glad we saw that, because I just wanted to show off that power of that AKS. Coda has now broken into the zone here. Mountain is dead. Again, I don't know what Mountain's plan was. He already left the server, so I can't check his kill count. But I don't know why he went off solo in the AO like that. Got Shade back here on his own. You just heard an AT round come in as Bridges is doing his best to hold the line here. Bridges throwing some grenades out. Ooh, little far. That's going to go right on Bad Freak. Literally, he was on top of that and it didn't kill him. Bridges getting a kill right there, though. And he's going to now fold into the sector. I don't know if this Blue 4 group can get in here following Coda and just sweep that sector. They can actually take this right out from Op4's nose, because that vehicle, them being in a Vic, doesn't count for them being in the sector. Same with anyone on a static. Now, I think King was killed off. No, he isn't. Where is he? Oh, he's folding in right here. And then you got Falcon back here. Still on 2 kills. So yeah, really staggered offense, but it's working because Op4 has a really weird defense strategy. This is reminding me of EU1. The attackers eventually lost, though, because they were keeping forces in reserve, but here we're seeing at least all the forces stagger in, or at least engaging Op4 elements. I don't know, guys. I mean, now we're getting into real AKS territory here, but it could swing either way. AT round comes in, hits that BTR again. I believe that's killed Cosmonaut. So all players that had the choice of an AKS are dead. That's really unfortunate. We got to see a little bit of AKS play, but that's just how it be today. Rogers, I thought I just saw him kill someone, but I'm not seeing a tick up in his kill count. Bridges hiding in a tree on the edge of the territory. That's dirty. Immediately fires at Tiger. Tiger's forced to pull back. Bridge was already on 1 kill. I see Lurch. He threw a smoke grenade in. Now he's suppressing that tree. Quickly folds back. Now Bridge being engaged by, I believe, Tiger, who pushed up. That G3 slaps, man. Coda still in the zone looking around. He's on 2 kills. Finds Poe, gets a 3rd kill. 3 Op4 remaining in the zone. I think Coda could get a clean sweep. He is a Pepega member, and they specialize in this solo CQC stuff. You got more folding in from the north, Shade and Bronson. Falcon got a 3rd kill. Was it King? Yeah, I think he actually sniped King as he was moving up. But then again, we got Maz and Martin over here, so they might have easily gotten the kills too. Maz does have a kill, Martin on none, so Maz might have also gotten King. But they're basically preventing this force from coming in. But we got players like Bayant, Chow. Bayant running around, blind firing up. Yeah, Falcon's on a rooftop looking around. He's got a 4th kill. I think he killed Shade. Yep, because Bronson's still alive, but Shade went down. And now it's just up to Miller. If Miller leaves the zone, it's GG. But Op4's numbers are very limited. You have these 4 guys that were all the way over here. They folded back into this sector. They should have just gone down this forested path instead. They're really going egregious here. But that is not the main threat they should be concerned about. And then you got this force out here that's pinned by the blue 4 AAVP. And the infantry coming up, I don't think they have a way to deal with it. So, yeah. If you don't have a proper way to fold back into the AO, then you shouldn't be out there in the first place, in my opinion. So a little bit of a misplay by Vagrant in his defense strategy for this one. And it's costing him tonight, unfortunately. Anderson now folded back into the AO as well. Catches Bad out of position, takes him out. Doesn't get hit himself, clean kill. Kevin heard it, though. Anderson spouts his gun, though. He's going to wait for Kevin to go out. It's like a tiger stalking his prey. Now, is Anderson going to keep watching? Or is he going to try to push? Pops a GL in there. Didn't hear a detonation. He's flaring him out. Kevin looks at the flare and goes, what's that? Did the flare just take out part of the barn? Wait a minute. Oh! Huh. Interesting. Blue 4 Germans versus Op 4 Russians. Cold War kits, though. So Korak and Artisan folded in. They've had 4 guys there. Now they have 2. Looks like Maz folded back in. Not sure if his battle buddy's still up. I think it was Martin. He's folded in as well. They're taking fire from the AAVP. Op 4 might actually hold this now. Op 4 got more guys into the sector. I just saw Blue 4 get into one of the Humvees and take out one of, excuse me, Op 4 got into a Blue 4 Humvee. And use that 50 cal. Took out a member of Blue 4. You got Blue 4 now turning around, trying to look for where those shots came from. Got the AAVP firing at range here.
Send in GOAT Team 6 now.
Solid, Doc. Thanks for the 5-month resub. Yes, indeed. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Yeah, AAVP is just trying to pick people off from range. I'm not sure who it's spotted. I think it's suppressing that building. Might have seen where Maz was. I just heard an AT round going, that was the Humvee that was taken. Doesn't look like there's any survivors. Yep, they are all dead. So that was, I think, Khan with the AT. Yep. So he's got a vehicle kill, and he's got 3 infantry kills from that. Falcon, meanwhile, running around. Still at 4 kills, being Nakey Man with that Mosin. And he's hunting his friend Bayans. Or at least he's trying to. He's not looking in that direction. think he saw him, though. Anderson being cautious here. He's on 3 kills. He's holding. Maz on 2 kills. Martin on 2 kills. Miller on 1 kill. So these guys are all a little seasoned this round. They've had a taste for their weapons. They know how they handle. I don't think Anderson... Oh, he did get a kill there. He keyholed somebody. Good shot. M2 Vic now panic firing. I think it's trying to suppress Martin up there. Anderson trying to hit Olaf, but Olaf has that MG. And he uses it to murk Anderson. I think Anderson ran out of ammo in his magazine because his fire rate immediately stopped. But look at all those hits. That's at least 5 or 6. Possibly more down to the body, but ouch. MG3s and MG42s, man, if you knock them prone, that just stabilizes their weapon and they are able to then keep you on target. You gotta hit them quick, otherwise they will chew you up. Falcon is retreating all the way back there. Bayant, though, he's starting to fold into the objective, so I think Falcon's removing himself from the game of play. Maz coming around, though, might spot Katarino, and he does. Takes him out. He also took a guy that brought a cord static around. He's up to 4 kills with his RPK. Thanks, Fisher. Glad you're enjoying it. I saw a comment a few days ago saying that my camera angle needed a little bit of work, so I'm trying to cover more of the PvP itself by watching the players, and I think it's working out. Otherwise, Grav taking out Maz there. If Blue 4 trades 1 for 1, they're going to win. We need to see these 4 guys fold in. They don't have any AT to deal with that AAVP, though, unless they found something. I'm going to quickly look over and check on him. I don't see any AT. No AT. He's a marksman. Yeah, no AT. So they're going to have to bypass the AAVP and fold into the sector because there's only 2 guys in it defending, and it's the 2 remaining guys in the AO period. Falcon needs to fold in. Let's see. It's 7. Oh, they could get in the cord. They're shooting. They're trying to penetrate into the hull. Gun just got disabled, actually. See how it's not able to move up? Wait, yes it is. Yes it is. Okay, I thought because he was looking down like that as he was moving, I thought he actually got it disabled, but minimal damage. The hull on the AVP is pretty thick. You can't really fire from the rear and get your penetration shots unless they're, I'd say, on the sides or the front, but the rear just has too much armor. Which is funny because that's where the door is, but you then have to penetrate even further up, and it can be a little difficult to do that. The bullets just lose a significant amount of muzzle velocity when they come in from the rear. So I'm a little worried, too, because Bayant, the top player of FNF, is in here now. Falcon's really out of position. He got a 5th kill, but I think he'll be able to pick off sideways, but that's not where the fight is right now. We need to see these 4 fold in. Because otherwise, I think Martin and Miller are going to get overrun. Martin just got found by Bayant and picked off. He now has 3 kills, so it's up to Miller to kind of hide. Falcon folding back in. He might be able to pick off Sideways, but Sideways is also a really, really good player. He knows how to triple time run, too, and he's playing as the sniper. But Falcon could kill him, take a sniper, and then keep moving, but... This was a lot closer than I thought. There we go. They just fired on the front where the engine is and managed to disable the vehicle. Turret isn't fully disabled yet. He's looking around. And now they're going to basically triple time and move in. Got someone taking pot shots over here. That was that one gunner. There we go. Now it's flaming out. Despo is on fire. He's trying to stop, drop, and roll here. Hey, Few Gamer, thank you for the host, buddy. He's going to quickly try to bandage instead as he burns. Might get knocked out, though, from the flame damage. You got some shots on the rear here as well. Oh, Bayant's getting fired at by his own guys. Miller is just staying put at this point, waiting for someone else to fold in. If Bayant needs to get into a little bit of a crossfire scuffle here, that might be enough time for these guys to fold in into back into the sector. Falcon, he's waiting people out. Trying to catch Bronson out. The tree's in the way. I think he's waiting for sideways here. Can Miller hold? 60 minutes remaining. Now here's the deal. It's the final sector, so overtime will be called if Blue 4 are in sector 2. Ah, shit. Grav just took out one of the guys folding in. So he's going to hold from these open areas sideways. Taking fire from Falcon. Falcon went to his handgun. It's a handgun fight. Oh, that grenade. Falcon quickly runs over. And he gets headshotted by sideways his handgun. There's the double tap. I think it's GG. Doesn't matter how long Miller's hides. I think he had an opportunity there to take him out, but he's going to stay stealthy instead because he realizes once he shoots, he is going to get engaged. Sholin making it back into the AO here, still on the edge. But it's now 4 versus 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Might have had some explosive satchels thrown. Blue 4 doing their best to clean sweep every building. Sholin firing over. Not sure what he was engaged in. I think he might have been trying to hit Grav or Olaf. Olaf then folds in. But Sholin is able to take out Grav as Grav then tries to get into a firefight. Sholin was pinned. Olaf now might try to wait him out. Oh, Sholin knows he was taking fire from a different angle, so he pops a smoke grenade. He's going to let that billow out before he tries to run. And instead, he's opting to stay on the ground and bandage. But he spotted Olaf. Olaf returning fire, and he manages to drop Sholin with that first burst. Gotta remember, if you go prone, you put your head first. Yeah, 17-round magazines are better than 8-round magazines. I know, Falcon. Handgun fights. What a shame. So it's down to 3 versus 3, 6, 10. Miller finds Bayant and takes him out. He's going to quickly try to move. Blam spotted Miller, but also the MG firing, and there it is. GG. I told you as soon as he fired, he was screwed. And there it is, Blue 4 victory. All right, guys. Tomorrow, we are going to have 2 operations I will be on the ground for. One will be a horror op at 6:30, and then another Project Tension operation to side op with some of the fancy scripts and stuff I'll be playing with at 8:30. So evening stuff. Thank you so much for watching.
Would have had an AKS.
You know, I agree. I think if Falcon had an AKS,